Now, the next topic is that of the approach. Now, we have to remember, as we're working with people for bowling, is do not let perfect be the enemy of progress. In other words, the goal is not to do something perfect according to what a textbook would say to do. We want to make sure they have some progress and that they get better. And it's easier for them to throw the ball where they want to throw it and they can knock down more pins. Because that is really what the game is all about. It's more fun to knock them down on purpose. So we'll talk about the approach. And the basic approach is 4 steps. The 4-step approach will begin with your first step with your ball side foot, your second step with your opposite foot, the third ball side, fourth. The last step is the non-ball side foot, and it's at the line, and that's when you deliver the ball. Now, as far as the direction that we're going to walk in, we want to walk in the direction of the ball path, the anticipated ball path. So if we're trying to throw straight up the middle, we would want the person to walk straight up the middle of the approach. If we were talking about somebody who is trying to stand to the left and throw back to the right, have the ball hooked back into the pins, then their approach is going to be from the left side, slightly to the right, so that they can accomplish what they're trying to do as far as the ball path. The closer the approach is to the ball path, the easier it's going to be for them to execute and make the shot they intend to make. Now, it's easier said than done to take your 4 steps in the direction that you want the ball to travel down the lane. The reason is because you're also swinging a ball on your right side or left side, as it is, at the same time you're taking your steps. So what you have to be careful of is that you don't have these large lunges with your feet to the left and to the right. So your actual approach doesn't look like a snake's path. It looks more like a straight line that would be parallel to where the ball is going to go on. So the first step is the most important step of the entire approach. And the first step, we want to accomplish 2 things. And the first thing is the most important. We want the first step to be in line with our other foot.
Note, this step is being over-exaggerated in the video to demonstrate it. Like Coach Garth will tell you in person, it's actually a smooth step directly in front of the previous step. It's like a walk on a tightrope. This is the crossover step.
So you could think of it as a tightrope or a balance beam. They make you dizzy, just put it right ahead of your other foot. So that then you can start to continue the path towards the line. That's your approach. The ball is supposed to, this is the second part of the first step, the ball, or the textbook, is supposed to be pushed out at the same time as the first step. It's supposed to be simultaneous. As if there's a bungee cord between your wrist and your foot as they go forward.
Coach Garth emphasizes the importance of the push away. It's another crucial element. Coach Garth stresses the importance of a simultaneous push away of your arm with your first step in your bowling approach. This simultaneous motion sets the tone for the entire delivery.
However, you got to be careful. And the reason we have to be careful is because different people have different foot speed. And so therefore, if your foot speed is slower, then we have to make an adjustment to accommodate that so you can still throw the ball effectively. What will happen is, once the ball is pushed out and starts to swing, gravity should be the primary force that acts upon the ball. Gravity will take the ball down, swing the ball back to the top of the backswing, and then the ball will come forward. We will try to use as little muscle as possible although we do need some muscle. Because gravity is really the driving force here, we have to be real careful with it that the speed of the swing, the distance it travels, is going to be relatively the same among all bowlers. Because unless you add a lot of muscle to it, or you pull the ball down from your backswing, or you push the ball out really far out, once the ball falls into the swing, it's going to take about the same time for all bowlers. Since it's going to take the same time, a younger person who has no problem with the 4 steps, pushing on the first step, can make it to the line and look balanced and throw a good shot, may not be the same as a person who's a little bit older, may have some other issues, can't walk quite as fast to the line. That's why we have to work with when the ball is pushed out relative to when they get to the line. If they can get to the line and they can throw the ball clear of their body down the lane and they're fairly balanced, then they're probably pushing out at the right time for them. If they are not, however, if they get to the line and they have lost their balance, or they do something such as stepping out of a shot, then you have to do something a little different. That means you're going to have the ball come through a little bit earlier or a little bit later, depending upon what you see. So, again, it's great to tell everybody to push the ball at the same time as that first step. They go simultaneous. It's not necessary. You have to adjust for each particular bowler.